The song is called Feeding the Ducks.
Really?
That's the only reason I picked it, because it just had a really fun and cool name, baby.
That is amazing.
And again, there's no... Oh, wait. I got an idea. It didn't work the way I wanted it to. I thought it was gonna fade out, but it's like, no, we're just gonna wait until you let go, and then we're just gonna do all the thing at once. Whatever. But anyway, hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Juke King Jimmy Bebe, and I'm joined by Nick the Geek. Boom, boom, right there to the side of me. And it's AEW Dynamite, boom or bust, the show where we review Dynamite piece by piece. And we don't do it over analytically. We do it as a fan. We're here to enjoy it. We're here to spread the joy and fun and all that good stuff, not poop on it like everyone else. But if it is bad, we will say. We are a little early, so sorry for that. I was a little sleepy last night when I was setting everything up, but again, this is still all kind of new and everything. We're working out the kinks. By next week, everything should
be getting there.
Bang, bang, scissor gang, whatever that was back in the day, a few months ago. But anyway, Nick, how the heck have you been, sir, since last week? And how have you been enjoying the wrestling overall?
I'm good, Jim. Got some sleep for a change, which is nice. Watched a lot of wrestling this week. Watched a lot of old wrestling this week, but also watched a lot of new wrestling this week. Enjoyed doing Takeover the Table. Got NXT Takeovers, The End, and Brooklyn 2 done. That was 3 hours and 40 minutes of fun.
Those are double booms right there, baby.
That was awesome shows. We kept adding matches because there's no bad ones at this point. We said the problem is looking for the bad match on NXT Takeover after The End. There's no point. There aren't any.
There's none.
They're all good.
All the way up until like the end of the Black and Gold era, that you're not going to find a bad match.
Not a bad match. So that was really fun. Raw was really good this week. NXT was good this week. I thought the Trick Williams Cody Rhodes interaction was nice. Wasn't overdone. It's good for Trick more than anything else. It's got Cody's AJ's match advertised again, which is what it was for. I know it didn't really help in the ratings, but who cares?
I'm not here to talk about ratings. That's a foreign and bad word around here.
That was loads of fun. And Dynamite was good this week. I enjoyed Dynamite this week.
I think we're going to have some different opinions this week. I think this is the week where we're going to start fighting over some stuff.
Okay, some stuff, again, needs some work. Nothing's ever perfect. But overall, I enjoyed the show to the point that I decided to wear my brother's AEW hat.
That's all that matters. You enjoyed it. That's all that matters. Cameron, Dylan in the chat once again. What up, guys? My favorite show to watch. And hey, much appreciated. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for always showing up to the shows. You've been day one supporter, and I really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much. I'm not promoting on Twitter anymore because I've left Twitter. I hate the place now. It's so abysmal. It's so toxic. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about AEW Dynamite. And yes, I got to watch it. I was like texting you earlier this week. I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it. But I got out of the wedding 5 minutes before, and then I put it on the phone and was like racing home. And I was kind of like, don't arrest me, cops. I was like watching it while I was driving. And I was like, yeah, I won't ever do it again. I promise you. But it was for the show. It was for the people. I had to make it happen. That is why I did it. And I only was driving and watching for like six or 7 minutes. So it's all good. It's all good. I made it home alive, didn't get in a wreck. Nobody died. It's all good. But now we can jump into the show. And that I'll say the beginning of the show is one of my favorite parts of the show. So I'm glad we're going to start off with it. We got Swerve Strickland promo coming out. Our AEW World Champion kicking off the show. Thank you.
Isn't it nice?
Yes.
Isn't it nice?
He's swerving when he's driving. He's all that good stuff and all that stuff. They come out and he starts cutting a promo on Will Ospreay. Thank you. We need to be doing that. We need to get this feud, whatever we're going to call it.
We need this match to be built, Jim, is what we need this match to be.
Yes. Okay, so before we go any further, do you think this is the biggest match AEW could have right now? Is Swerve and Will Ospreay? With you got to keep in mind injuries and everything. With the roster they have today, Swerve and Ospreay, is it the biggest match?
Swerve as world champion versus Ospreay, yes, probably. But MJF versus Ospreay or MJF versus Okada would also be a very big match.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that Swerve is world champ. Due to the fact that Swerve is world champ, he is the man right now. Yes, it is the biggest match they put on because Will is over like Rover. Everybody loves him, which obvious why. He's just really good at his job. But we're going to get to it, but Swerve has to win that match.
We will get to it. But I wanted to get that out of the way because I'll say feud again because I don't really consider it a feud at this point. It's just kind of a match that's happened and they're building up to the match. But the build has kind of been like, where is it at? So it started, to me, officially started this week. Yeah, and, he comes out and he's cutting the promo. And I liked it. I liked what we were getting.
This is a good promo.
Look, we got Dale. What up,
Dale?
Dale? Absolutely. Problem is, this will be a one and done because the company doesn't know what rematches in consecutive events. I'm not so sure about it this time. Mm-hmm. I think with more shows happening throughout the year, you're going to start seeing that happen. Yes. Which isn't a bad thing. Like a lot of the 50-50 booking bullshit, that's how you build feuds. So I don't want to hear about it. But anyway, I do think that's going to start happening, Dale. And I agree with you. That hasn't really been a thing they've touched on to this point. But we will see how that plays out after this. So he's cutting the promo on Ospreay. And it's a friendly promo on Ospreay. It's not he's scathing or anything like that.
No, not derogatory.
Then out comes the Elite. And
your favorite people.
Okay, so I've been praising them for myself. I've thought they've been great in this role. I've been enjoying it.
The Young Bucks play wonderful arseholes.
Yes, because
they're really good at it. Because I wonder why. All right.
But the problem I have with it is they come out and then they go right into, we're challenging the best of AEW to blood and guts. What?
Why?
What does that have to do with... Now, if they would have got... We'll get to the other part, but it was like that kind of seemed odd. So then they come down and they start talking to Swerve and then they introduce him into the Elite. Okay. This is how it should have started. Hey, you got gold. We got gold. We've already proven that we can take out anybody. And now we're wanting to challenge the best of AEW. Since you're champion and we're all champions and Jack's about to be a champion, what do you say? Join us? And then Swerve does what he does. Throws the shoe or gives him the Nana, throws the shoes, do all of that. And then you've set up the Elite versus Swerve and whoever his team's going to be in a way that didn't come across. It was just way out of place. It was like, what do they call it? The ad libs? A mad lib. That's what it reminded me of. It was a mad lib, and you used the wrong word, the wrong places. And then the Acclaim comes out and makes the save, and that's the segment. So with that said, I've given my kind of thoughts on it. Nick, I want yours because I'm hoping that maybe you can persuade me a little bit into liking it a little bit more. But again, the placement was just...
This segment was saved by the words, "I'm a philanthropist."
That was a good spot.
Right, we threw the shoes. That was fantastic. Actually, the problem with it was they just came out and went, "Blood and guts." Why? When? This doesn't. What? What's this got to do with anything? As you say, they should have started it where they came out, talked to Swerve, and then we've got a favor to ask you, champ. Blood and guts is coming up. We need a fifth man. Something along those lines. And then Swerve could have done his fuck you and they can carry on with the day. I think they were good in their roles. Okada was funny. Because Okada is always funny when he speaks English. And I'm not being racist. It's just he always makes me laugh because he always has gag lines whenever he speaks English. For some reason, they don't let him talk seriously, which is a different conversation for a different day.
I think it's all part of Tony's vision for him.
Whatever that may be. God help him. But I'm kind of with you. I got what the segment was trying to do. And I love the bit with Swerve coming out. Thank God they started the show with the World Heavyweight Champion. And God forbid that they do this on a regular basis.
I don't think they should do it on a regular. I'm not of that thought process. I don't think it should be done on a weekly basis. I think he should definitely be put in the spots that are the most
when
important.
he's on the show,
yes,
he should open the show.
Well, I don't think because I feel like that's too formulaic, and AEW should not be formulaic. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit when we get to a certain part of the show as to why I think what I love the most about AEW. And when they move away from it, that's when I'm kind of like, what's going on? But we'll get to that part and you'll understand what I'm saying. Okay. I don't like them being formulaic, though. So if he's starting the show one week, he's ending the show. Like last week, he ended the show. Great. This week, he started the show. Great. Put him in the middle of the show. That's fine. I don't hate when they do that. I just don't like it when they're just throwing him in a crazy random match or something silly like that.
To me, I'm old. World champion should be the feature of your product, be that the end of the show or the beginning of the show.
Okay.
You should always do one or the other.
So he says it reminds me of when the Authority interacted with Cena, stating they respect him for winning the title or Money in the Bank, but you could tell there was a negative mood. Yeah, it was just weird. It was just a weird setting.
Yeah, it was. It came across. I suppose it was supposed to come across as fake from the Bucks, as in they were being facetious, but
they started it off wrong. So with that, now that we've gotten it out of there, what are you doing? Okay, so I was starting here when Swerve came out, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, and then all of a sudden they kind of want me back. So I'm here. You're down.
Mm-hmm.
You're down. Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Like I said, the only thing that saved the segment was the philanthropist line, and that wasn't enough.
Okay, that's unfortunate for Swerve. He's getting a thumbs down from Nick already. Boo. Amanda says, hey, guys. Looking good, hey, babe. Thank you, babe. As always, it is you, though, that is looking good. I am just looking like a chump in a crown. We'll move on, though, because from there, they transitioned. And I love it when segments transition into things on the show. I like the show to come across as something that is happening before our eyes, not something that is like, here's what you're getting, and this is how it's going to end. No. These are crazy people. These are wrestlers. You can't control these guys all the time. And things should be happening spontaneously.
Yes.
Christopher Daniels comes out, says, you all need to get the heck out of here because we have a match coming up. It's a TNT qualifying ladder match, and it's going to be Jack Perry. I don't care if you're dressed to wrestle, which is silly because he has been wrestling in what he's wearing anyway.
That's literally what he wears to wrestle.
I'll overlook it. It's not a crazy thing. I'm not nitpicking things. But then he says, you're going to be wrestling Dustin Rhodes. My only issue here was that they announced that he was going to be doing that ahead of time. So it was like, it's not really spontaneous, but at least they presented it that way. Had I not seen the layout of the show, I wouldn't have known. Cool. Awesome. And then we got Jack Perry versus Dustin Rhodes. Now, anybody who's been paying attention to me knows I have literally flipped the switch on Jack Perry and I've been praising him. I really have. He's taking chicken shit and he's making turning it into chicken salad. Good for him. I was not feeling the match though. And the biggest problem I had is he took a Shattered Dreams.
Yep.
And it meant nothing. Also early in the match, he's like, I'm gonna be the next TNT champion. I'm gonna be the next TNT champion. And then he brings a chair in the middle of the match, right in front of Aubrey, and then nothing comes of it. Like she takes the chair from him. It's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna cheap shot him? Nope. He just attacks him like normal. And it's like, what was it? It seemed odd. And it kind of took me out of it a little bit. He won though. He should have won. I'm glad he won. He should be in the ladder match. He should win the ladder match. But I just wasn't feeling the match. Again, the transition was awesome. Beautifully done. I'll let you go before I give my one problem approval.
Because no knocking Dustin Rhodes, he's an absolute legend and he's a phenomenal worker. Is Jack Perry is nothing more, as my brother would call him, than a wannabe Raven.
No, he's not.
Yes, Come on. He's even doing Raven's pose. He's the kid who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth that's got all angsty and annoyed at the boss, so now he's rebelling. It's literally Raven's character. A guy who was born super rich with a silver spoon in his mouth that got sick of the business and decided to go all angsty and fight against it instead of fighting with it. It's the same fucking character.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Same fucking character. Just not good at it.
Close your eyes.
I don't
close your eyes. Listen to, not literally, but listen to a Raven promo and listen to a Jack Perry promo. They're not the same. I'm not even talking about quality-wise. I'm talking about what they're spitting and what they're speaking.
Wannabe. He's a wannabe Raven.
The aesthetics are there.
He's never been able to cut a promo, and for some reason, it doesn't matter how much mic time they've given him since he's been in AEW, he can't cut a promo.
I feel like they've gotten better. I do feel
they've improved, but he still can't cut a promo.
He doesn't like talking to people in general. So I mean,
Jack Perry. This is not the gimmick that's going to make him for rich and famous.
He's already rich and famous, man. We're still.
You know what I mean. Right, this is not the gimmick that's going to carry him through a career. This gimmick has to change. This character has to be given some kind of direction and reason for being, because they can't talk about the reason that he's actually there, apparently.
Here's the thing. I've always been told AEW will talk about all the history and all that. So they could talk about it to an extent. They just won't.
No, they won't talk about it.
That's the problem.
So the core of the character is lost in limbo. It's never coming there. So realistically, it's like, what are you mad at, Jack? You're mad at Tony Khan because you got suspended. What did you do, Jack?
Well, we saw what he did because they aired it, and we gave him shit for airing it. We're like, why'd you air it?
I mean, they still aired
it now. And I totally take back all the crap I was saying. I do get why they aired it now, because it did.
I know why they aired
it. Well, yes, you know why, but I'm saying it did kind of give you an idea as to why Jack Perry is the way he is now, though.
Yes, but
so there was a reason for it.
Yeah, but that's not enough.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you completely. I'm just saying.
Also, if you think about it this way, they have replaced Kenny Omega with Kazuchika Okada. That's fine. That's kind of a even swap, right? Jack Perry is no Adam Page.
You want to know why? We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that after this segment, honestly, after we finish this. So we can go ahead and move on from here. Because the Raven Jack Perry thing, I feel like I could go back and forth with you on this a while. But we got other part of the show here. So we going thumbs up, thumbs down. He said thumbs down again. He's hating. He's a hater. I'm with you too, though, because I just wasn't feeling the match. And I hate that because I hate it, man. I hate it.
Kids got.
Who do you think the fifth member of the Elite's going to be in Blood and Guts? Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't need to be Hangman Adam Page. He's Jack Perry. So that's why. So,
yeah, but he needs to be better at being Jack Perry.
He's working on it, man. He's working on it. Let him cook, man. Hey, we didn't like the Chris Jericho thing for a minute.
This is true.
And he's Chris Jericho. I'm not comparing Jack Perry and Chris Jericho, but sometimes you just gotta give things time to get over and work.
Yes, but Jack needs to verbalize reasons.
Yeah, let's give him time. Let him win the TNT title, and then we'll see what goes from there. Okay. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. Moving on. Oh, what am I doing? I put that in the wrong spot. Moving on. We're going to cut through some of these because I don't feel like some of them weren't enough time, and we're already at 20 minutes.
All right.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier, where I like the I forgot what I said about it earlier. The thing I like about AEW is I don't like it being formulaic.
Yes.
This match was Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe versus, where'd it go? There was so much that happened. Everything was like jumbled.
Roderick Strong,
Konosuke Takeshita.
And Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher. There you go. So you have a crazy 6-man match. And let me tell you, when AEW was at its height and at its best, we got matches like this all the time, where it was just, let's throw a bunch of guys in the ring and let them cook. That's the phrase that everybody likes to say, right? They're still saying that nonsense.
I think so.
Let them cook. And they did. Was it like a barn burner that tore the whole house down? No. Was it fun and entertaining? Absolutely. Absolutely. It had story intertwined into it, so it wasn't completely random. And then I feel like the ending of this match where Kyle Fletcher pinned Mark Briscoe is going to lead to something. So that's good. And that's what you want out of these matches. You want them to continue story and you want them to progress story and you want them to create. And that's what they did here. And then after the fact.
I do have one question for you.
Okay.
Why was Roderick Strong in this match and not Trent?
Maybe Trent's injured.
Because I'm trying to think of
or maybe Trent.
The excuse Don gave in commentary was they paid the Undisputed Kingdom, so that's fine.
Didn't Roderick Strong wrestle one of them? Oh, you know what? I'll just go ahead and say this. It's going to sound crazy and not make that much sense. Maybe not sense at all. But Roderick Strong just wrestled Will Ospreay, and I still think that the Don Callis family at some point is going to completely turn on Will Ospreay, and maybe that's somehow playing into it a little bit.
Okay.
It might be one of those things where you got to wait and see. It might be one of those things that just never gets talked about. We never know why. I don't know. The match itself was fun, and that's really all I care.
The match was brilliantly fun. Like it was ridiculous. It was just chaos. The right guy got the pin. Mark Briscoe's promo before the match made me laugh so hard. He literally just went, "This segment is mine. You guys just stand there. I'm going to show you how to cut a crazy promo." And he cut an absolutely banger and a ripper of a promo.
So I totally skipped over that because, again, it's all combobulated, and I skipped over a few things, so we're going to go back to them.
No, it's cool.
I saw Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Kyle O'Reilly, and I was like, oh, the match. I want to talk about it. Cool. But yeah, the promo was fun because I love Mark Briscoe. I think he's just fun. And my thing is, I like fun. So if you're going to give me fun, cool beans. So we're both giving that part a thumbs up. The promo was good. Fun. Okay. So, but we'll go back to the match, and then we'll go back to what I skipped over because it was a big deal. But then we got a post-match attacks, what I didn't like because there's too many post-match attacks that remind me of WCW. Sorry, not sorry. And then we got save from Willow. Her music plays. She's coming to say, no, she's not. Statlander's dragging her butt out because she whooped her butt too. So the good guys all got their butts whipped. The bad guys stand tall. Thank you. I like that. It needs to happen more often. The bad guys should be reigning supreme up until the pay-per-views. Yes. And then your boy Stokely, he wasn't funny this week. I'll tell you that much. But he wasn't bad. He wasn't funny.
Wake up, bitch. That was funny.
But it doesn't work because 2-3 segments before that, Okada came out there and said whatever he said, bitches. So it's repetitive.
All right.
That's my thing. And again, that's what I don't like the post-match attack because it happens so much. It kind of dilutes it a little bit. But overall, I say this. The floor is yours. You can talk about it. Give your thumbs up, thumbs down. You're saying thumbs up. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down. But if you want to add
the match was a good piece of work. The match was a good piece of work. It was like I like controlled chaos, and it was controlled chaos. I'm really happy Kyle Fletcher got the pin. I'm a big fan of his. I remember watching him live when he was 17 years old in a warehouse in Manchester. And he's put on so much size since then. He's got so much better in the ring. Go down the wrong way, Jim.
Sorry. He says Diamond Mine, dud. Dale's on my side here. Dale's on my side.
The Diamond Mine was just never going to work. Anyway. But it was a good match. I thought it was a good segment overall. I loved Mark Briscoe's promo beforehand because Mark Briscoe's hilarious. Like I said, the only thing that was confusing was why Trent wasn't in the match. I think it would have made more sense for Trent to be in the match. But other than that, loved it. Thought it was loads of fun. It was where Dynamite picked up.
Yes.
Yeah. For me.
Okay.
For me. This is where Dynamite picked up. I enjoyed it. Thumbs up. Boom.
Okay. I give thumbs up too. So now we'll rewind because I skipped over. And I cannot believe, again, it's because of my notes. I got to do better notes. But when so much is happening on the show, it's hard to space it out. So what happened after the promo that we both liked was Roosh came out and he destroyed a jobber. Sorry, I didn't get the jobber's name, but he destroyed him. And then after the fact, he goes, I'm going to kick his butt some more. So he did. And then he gets saved by Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Max is saving people. Or is it because he just wanted Roosh? I don't know.
I don't think it was a case he was saving people. I think it was a case of, I want to kick the shit out of this dickhead who interrupted me last week.
So that comes out. They start. We don't even get a promo from Max, which is interesting. I like it though because again, I like it when I'm kind of surprised by things, and that was surprising. We didn't get the typical Maxwell Jacob Friedman, which shows the change might actually have some more layers to it than initially thought. He comes down. They start brawling. It goes all the way to the back. He puts him through a table. The brawl was great. I really enjoyed it. I liked that when the security came in, they stopped fighting each other, took out the security so they could start fighting each other again. Little things like that are very cool to me. And then they went all the way to the back, and then they got separated and all that. It's a great brawl. We'll go. I'll give my rating. I did enjoy the brawl, so it's getting a thumbs up. Feel free, speak your mind, give your piece.
This was fun. Maxwell Jacob Friedman has fully merged his characters with 2002 Triple H and Wolverine to turn into Max Arene Helmsley. I like the new look on MJF. I like the new hair. He's put some mass on. He can still move really well. To me, it just came across that he wanted to beat Rush's ass, and it had nothing to do with saving the local talent. He just saw an opportunity. Yeah, okay. But I still, for the life of me, I'm finding it hard to buy. I have been here working, and you haven't. When Rush, no, you fucking haven't. And what did you do this week? You crushed your jobber. You didn't even wrestle someone credible.
I'm fine with that. It kind of showed his,
but it doesn't help his case.
No, it doesn't help his case. But it shows his ruthlessness and how dangerous Rush is.
Don't get me wrong. I like Rush. We've both said
yes.
Wonderful in the ring. I like the fact that he just beats the snot out of people. And he's going to have a great match with Max because it's a different side of Max.
Yes.
It's a more violent, more aggressive side of MJF. So I enjoyed it overall. I thought the brawl was fantastic. It wasn't your typical pull apart. It went backstage and so on and so forth. The camera followed them. I always like it when the camera follows brawls as opposed to pretending that this is a magic wall that nothing can pass.
Yes.
So that was good. I like the fact that Christopher Daniels tried to get in the middle of them when there was two groups of wrestlers off them. It's about me, damn it. But no, thumbs up.
Okay, so we'll both give that a thumbs up. That's good. We'll go to this. I just wanted a thumbs up, thumbs down on this one because it was very quick, and we'll get to the other part of it later. Hook and Samoa Joe, they had a little video package where they were like, open the door, attacked him in the locker room. Smart Mark, brilliant in this segment. Probably my favorite part of the entire segment. They need to have him on TV more. That's my opinion. But it was real quick, real effective, and it helped kind of say, oh, well, we have this match coming up now, too, and that's kind of what led to it, especially continuity from last week. Oh, I love continuity so much. So
continuity, Jim.
Whatever, you know what I mean by it.
Butcher my language anymore.
Hey, just for that, I'm changing my. It's a thumbs down. How about you like that? How you like that? No, what is it again?
Continuity.
No, it's continuity. I'm saying that because that's how I say it. I have some slang to my verbiage, and that's how I'm gonna say it.
So do I, but it's still continuity.
Y'all say some weird things that I don't that we say differently too. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am saying I'm right. Anyway, continuity. There you go. There you go. So now we'll go past the Orange Cassidy match that we've already talked about. Sorry again, we're out of sorts. I'm gonna start using 2 pages. I promise everybody. I'm gonna skip this one because I don't even know what the point of it was. But I do want we're gonna break down every piece, so we do have to give it a rating. The Rey Fenix thing in the back, he was like stretching himself, and then Renee was talking about it, and it seemed like we were about to get a video package of him. And then it wasn't that. It went into a Shingo
Takagi announcing himself.
I had to check the last name.
By the way, it's fantastic.
Yes. A video where he's announcing himself
good
to join the Owen Hart tournament.
Yes.
Which is great.
Takagi is amazing. If you haven't seen him, Jim, he is like the Japanese Dynamite Kid.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe him. He's violent. He's aggressive. He's quick.
He came across as a person who was not to be trifled with.
Yes.
And that's what video packages do for me.
He is like Taz, about the same size Taz was, but
really?
just height wise, but just built like a tank.
So because it is part of the show and we have to do it, the Ray Phoenix part, I'm doing a thumbs down because I don't get it, don't understand it. Could have been cut, wouldn't have made work. Say controversy. That's what she says she wants you to say. How do you say controversy?
Controversy.
Okay.
No,
all
I don't say controversy.
Controversy. Okay, and then the Shingo Takagi video package, we're both doing that thumbs up. Yes? Okay, so we're on the same page there. And now we can move on. Yeah, it was so weird. I was like, okay, Ray Phoenix video package. I love Ray Phoenix. And I was like, that's not Ray Phoenix. What's going on here? Very confusing. So then we go to the did I mess that up again? No, we didn't. So the Premier Athletes come out for their match and they get jumped by Hook and Samoa Joe. And here comes one of my new favorite wrestlers, Shibata, holding the camera. Great. I like it. Shibata is entertaining.
Yes.
He's a person I hope they really start showcasing more on the shows. And then Hook and Joe completely destroy the Premier Athletes. I didn't like the ending because it kind of highlighted the in-ring stuff about AEW that takes me out, because Tony Nese was getting choked out for like it felt like forever.
Yeah.
Neither one of those guys were even part of the match. And then, so it's like, get Tony Nese out of there. It's a ref's job. You got to handle that. And then a Hook gets the other guy, Daivari, and then they tap out. They're both tapping out, blah, blah, blah. So it was supposed to be fun. I get that. And I was having fun up until the end. It took me out a little bit. I'm not trying to nitpick, but again, it just kind of
supposed to be symbolism.
It was wonky,
it was
though.
Supposed to be the master and the student both using chokeholds.
Yes, for sure.
But
I get what they were going for. It just came across wonky to me.
No, I agree. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Okay.
I did. I thought it was fun. The ending could have been better. It wasn't a great finish to the match.
I'm not going to knock you.
Jump in the Premier Athletes on the ramp during the entrance is great. Because I love Dickhead Joe, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is Dickhead Joe, and I enjoy that where he just beats the snot out of people for no apparent reason.
And him and Hook is a great pairing. It is a great pairing.
Yeah, they work brilliantly
together. And if they ever get serious,
speak and spell, as Joe calls him.
If they ever get serious, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. I want to see them serious versus Moxley, Danielson, and Yuta. Not Danielson, because Danielson I think he's gone. I think he's leaving soon. But those three versus those three, I think that would be a violence at its finest. And I hope that happens. So you're giving it what? Shibata saved it from being this. I'll say that. So we both do that. Next up. Oh, man. This is where I'm going to need your help.
Okay.
Because it confused me beyond. I don't even know what's going on.
Right.
Christopher Daniels comes on Tron, whatever, and says, we're going to have some eliminator matches that have to do with the blood and guts. Is that what it was?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Right? As far as I could tell, the eliminator matches are to determine if people get title shots.
So it's the same shit they've been doing, the title eliminator matches.
Correct.
I don't like it. So that's already getting a thumbs down from me.
No, I don't like it. I did
see that the Young Bucks are wrestling.
I don't see the point in having the match to have the match. Like, why are you giving the match away twice?
And just so there's some fair here in case anybody's watching and thinks I'm not fair. Otherwise, I'll say I didn't like when WWE did it. I'm not liking when AEW does it. I think it's silly. It's a silly thing to do.
Stupid.
Like, don't do it.
I don't like it either. If you're going to have a title eliminator match, which is a normal number one contenders match between two people who are neither of them are the champion, that makes sense.
That way
you have to wrestle the champion to see if he gets a chance to wrestle the champion makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Not to me, it doesn't. So I do thumbs down. I do thumbs down, and you do thumbs down. That works for me. Now, after that, we got a Stephanie Vicker video package again. And I'm not saying again in a bad way. I'm saying it because it's like, okay, thank you. You're still keeping us in the loop of that this woman right here is a threat to Mercedes Moné. She can't be there, so you're doing the next best thing. Thank you.
Yes.
That's good. All I care about. And I just gave you the reason why I care about it. If you want me to think she's a big deal, you better make room for her on your show every week leading up to this big
straight. Damn straight. The video package was a really good idea. It was a good video package as well. Showcased it in the ring. It showcased it out of the ring.
And she finally talked.
And she's perfectly understandable. Accent aside, you can understand every word she says. I'm really looking forward to that match.
Yeah, for sure.
I really am, because I saw the New Japan semi-final. I think it was the semi-final between those two, and that was a great match. So this should be a fantastic rematch, because now they know each other, and it's been about a year. Pardon me.
Over a year.
Since Mercedes got injured. So I think this is going to be great. I think it's brilliant that they're keeping Stephanie on television and showcasing her in the only way they can, because obviously she can't be there. So that was fine. So
you, if you want me to care, you have to care.
Exactly.
You show me that you care by including her on your show. That's it. So thank you. Awesome job. After that, we went right into the Mercedes versus Zeuxis match. And if I'm not mistaken, Zeuxis is a friend of Stephanie Vaquer, correct?
She is Stephanie Vaquer's tag team partner.
Boom. Thank you. This makes sense.
Exactly.
I will say it wasn't the best match. It was fine, but there was two spots I absolutely loved.
Okay.
And Zeuxis' lung blower, to
the face.
Is that her finisher?
No, that is the finisher of a young lad from Japan whose name.
That is a finisher, buddy.
Yeah.
And I like that when she made the pin, it was a crappy pin so that it was easy for Mercedes to kick out. Because if she would have hooked the leg and held the arm down, Mercedes kicked out, I would have been like, God, don't do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the pin made it all the more better, because that's a brilliant move. I love that move. It was
really good.
Freaking amazing. And then I don't like Mercedes' finishing move. I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's just too much going on.
It's supposed to be a Guerrero special into a DDT.
Don't like it. But what I did like,
she's not big enough. If she was Taya Valkyrie's size, it'd make perfect sense. But she's not. She's a much more slender woman. All right, she needs a finisher that's like a snap DDT or something. That'd be fine. But it's too convoluted.
Statement. Like, seriously,
just do the same thing. It's just stick with the same move, because.
And you can still just call it the moneymaker. But I did like her transition into it when she did the flip over, and then all that. But her finisher reminds me of Karrion Kross's finisher, where it's just too many pieces to the puzzle before you get to finish it. And it's like
when Brian Cage used to use the Weapon X as his finisher.
That too.
It takes like 10 seconds to get into the move.
You try hooking my arms when you're not even looking at me, I'm going to drop you on your head, Mercedes. That's all I'll say to that. But the match was fine. I did enjoy the match. And again, the continuity was there. I like the Zeuxis was the tag team partner of Stephanie Vaquer. All that stuff is great. And it's the stuff they should be utilizing more. They're getting a thumbs up for me. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. You have anything you'd like to add to that?
No, not really. I thought the match was fine. I thought Mercedes bumped her ass off, as she always does, because she's a very good seller. I was talking about this with my brother. That's the one thing she does out of the horsewomen better than the other four.
I won't say sell. I say she's a good bump taker.
She's a great bumper.
Yeah. Yes.
She's
like Shawn Michaels.
She's a better seller than the other four. The other three.
I think she's a better bump taker. I don't think she's a better seller than Bayley. I like
Bayley. Arguable.
Yeah.
Arguable.
Well, she reminds me of Shawn Michaels, because everyone thinks Shawn Michaels is this fantastic seller. He's an amazing bump taker, probably the best of all time. But as far as selling,
Kurt Hennig was the best bumper of all time.
I won't argue. But the selling is like, no. I could probably name 10 off the top of my head that were better than Shawn.
Okay.
But that's not a knock on him. He's still the GOAT. So, but then from there, we got a Mina Shirakawa video package, because the Toni Storm stuff wasn't able to take place on the show because you had the other thing. We can't get 2 women's matches on there, even though those are the best things going on in the whole company
at the moment.
But the Mina Shirakawa video package, I love it.
Great.
Because
Great.
everything Mariah May is involved in is 2 thumbs all the way up. Mina Shirakawa is fantastic. Tony Storm, this is probably the most excited match I'm most excited about at Forbidden Door.
It's going to be great.
Mina Shirakawa.
I am so, like, me and brother were talking about which way's Mariah May going to go.
And I don't know.
I honestly don't know. Because so far she's tried to keep the peace and keep it in the middle. So it's like, which way do you go? Do you go with your Japanese girlfriend, or do you go with your idol?
And we know the turn is coming, so it's like we're pretty sure she's going with Mina. But if Mina's not going to be on the show afterwards, does that really make sense? Or she stay with Tony because it's very
it's
fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic.
Wrestling should be unpredictable.
Yes.
It's predictability can be good in professional wrestling. Sometimes predictability is good, but for the most time, it needs to be unpredictable and spontaneous. You want stuff to feel.
Yes. When everything is predictable, I get tuned out, and that's why the AEW pay-per-views I tend to tune out after a while because I'm like, this is going exactly how I thought it was going to
go. It always does.
If I miss more than 2 matches, it's like what? But then I'm more invested. But most of the time, I only get one wrong because it's that predictable. But this one, I'm completely lost in. It's been done wonderfully, beautifully, all the above. So I'd give it 4 thumbs up if I could. I can't, so I'll do the 2. You can give it 2, and then we have 4 total, and now I'm happy about it. So, and then from there, we go to a Tony Storm video where she's with Mariah May. Mariah May was in both of them.
With the best line of the night. This wide load that holds the gold. Tony Storm
is amazing.
I love that one. She's my favorite women's wrestler. She has been for nearly 15 years now.
You have been on the Tony Storm bandwagon for a very, very long time.
Right. She's so good. And now that she's, for the first time in her life, actually got a character, like, she's absolutely blown away with it. Like, this was the problem Tony had for years, was her character was rock chick. Well,
but it wasn't really a character. It was just
a character. It was just that was it. That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
She's finally got a character to sink her teeth into, and she's absolutely nailed it so far.
So
she's blowing it out of the water. She's the most entertaining thing on AEW week in, week out.
Yes. So I'll take a timeout from Dynamite real quick because I had this conversation with some friends of mine and none of them agreed with me. I want your take on it. So with women wrestling, the standard based on just I don't care. Get mad if I say it. The standard for women's wrestling at this point, or the bar that we look at, what we compare everyone to is the 4 horsewomen.
Correct.
They are the ones that blew it wide open. Even though there was great wrestling going on before it.
Don't get me wrong. Stardom's been going on for years and it's phenomenal.
TNA was doing amazing.
The Knockouts division has been growing great for years. But as far as the mainstream casual wrestling fan goes, the 4 horsewomen are the women who were the figurehead and the forefront of the women's revolution in professional wrestling.
Broke the glass ceiling.
Correct.
For the viewer to be like, oh, we were wrong. So
no one else has ever main event at WrestleMania but them.
Yes. So
and Ronda.
So when you look at those, we have our different rankings of them. Some people have, I won't get into that part. What I will ask you is, do you consider Tony Storm to be as good, at the very least, as good as the 4 horsewomen at this point? From top to bottom with everything she does.
Yes.
Okay. Would you rank her above any of them?
Better than Sasha.
That's it?
I'd say she's better than Mercedes. I'd say
I'll say it. She's better than Charlotte.
Yeah.
Better than Charlotte.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Is. And this is the woman that was shoving cake in her face last time they met.
Charlotte is more talented as far as like the God-given gift she's been given.
Oh, yeah.
But Tony Storm with this character has been like, yo.
Just gold.
I'm blowing you out of the water. So timeout's over. We can go back to the show. I just wanted your take on it because I'm like, okay, I know I'm not crazy. I can't be the only one that thinks this.
No, you're not crazy. So
now we're going to go to the learning tree because it's amazing And I want to know if you caught on to what Chris Jericho did with his T-shirt before we go into any further. Did you catch what he was doing with the dig he was making with it?
Well, he went, does anybody want this T-shirt? Started pretending to throw it around and then just put it back on the stand and didn't give it to anybody.
So,
but also, I'd like to point out one little thing. Doesn't work for me, brother.
That's the line of the night. I was in the kitchen listening because I was making my dessert and I was listening, and he said, "That's not gonna work for me, brother," and I lost it. I had to stop myself and be like, "All right, Chris, you're killing me, man," and then go back to my business. But I took what he said about the T-shirt as a shot at WWE, and I don't care. I'm all for shots. The only person I don't think should be taking shots is Tony because he's not in the trenches like the rest of them are.
Agreed.
Jericho, though, it's fine. I don't care the talent. Take all the shots you want. But he's like, this shirt, it's already been out 15 minutes, and it's already the best-selling shirt of all time. Or he's literally inflating numbers and putting out there that I'm the great, like WWE does with every single thing. Oh, we just had the greatest gate of all time, and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Every time there's a show, they do that. And Chris did it with this shirt, and it was amazing. I cannot explain how much I love this version of Chris Jericho because it just reminds me so much of the Chris Jericho I love and miss from the 90s. It's beautiful. And go ahead.
This is genius. It's wrestling genius at work. The man understands exactly what he is doing. He has taken every single bit of negativity that anyone has ever said about professional wrestlers and turned it into a character who is so oblivious to his own bullshit that it's infuriating to the point of hilarity.
He's mocking the things that the AEW fan base hates, which makes it crazy that they hate him
for mocking what they hate.
He's doing this for you guys.
Brilliant. But I think we need to start a counter here on tag team partners for Big Bill. Because I think he's on his third now.
Who was before Ricky?
Enzo.
I'm talking about AEW.
There was somebody before Ricky, but I can't remember who it was.
I'll let you continue the learning tree. I'm going to look this up real quick because I think he had someone before Ricky.
But Big Bill's opening lines where he's this subliminal student that looks like he could snap at any moment was absolutely brilliant. Brian Keith coming out like Jericho's bodyguard with him. That is just brilliant. Chris Jericho showing Private Party how to climb the ropes.
And then they used it.
Brilliant.
He was with Lee Moriarty.
Oh, there you go. So he's on his third tag team partner now in Brian Keith because I'm fully expecting Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Private Party next week on either Dynamite or Collision.
Put the tag titles on them. I don't care.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Absolutely do it.
Sure there wasn't another
one. By the way, do you know why Jericho's changed the name of the FTW title?
What?
It's called the For the World Championship, yeah?
Yeah.
It's so every time he has a match, he can say it's for the World Championship.
It's brilliant, dude.
He's
also tagged with Ethan Page.
Oh, there you go. So it was his fourth.
It was part of the firm, so they kind of interchanged them out and stuff.
He's on his fourth now.
Preston
so we need to start a counter for Big Bill just to see how many tag team partners he gets in the long running and hopefully the long future of Dynamite.
Will we count the blind eliminator tag one?
Yes.
Okay, so Brian Cage.
Right, so that's 5. That's 5. We need to start a counter, Jim. We need to get to come down in the corner every time it changes. Because I swear by the end of the year, he's going to be on 6.
Including it next week for sure. All right, yeah, that's all. That's all. But I'm not mad at a Big Bill and Brian Keith tag match.
No,
give it to me, baby. Give it to me. I love Brian Keith.
I think that'll have pretty good chemistry.
Great.
Just like to beat people up.
But
overall, just brilliant, Chris Jericho. Give me more.
Who would have thought a year ago we would be saying Chris Jericho is the best part of AEW Dynamite?
I know.
That's insane to me.
It boggles the mind. It really does that Chris Jericho is now the best thing on AEW television. But I've said it for years, and I'll say it again. All these people that turn around and go, Chris Jericho needs to go away. Do you know what Chris Jericho is in AEW? It's the biggest name value they have. As far as the common garden wrestling fan goes, they know who Chris Jericho is. They go, oh, Chris Jericho works there. I might check it out. Now I'll stick around to see these other guys. But they went there because of Chris Jericho. It behooves your company to have him on TV every week. As long as he can make it entertaining, that's all that matters.
It's like when WWE brings back The Rock or John Cena. He's not as big a name as those guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but it's the same idea. The only difference is Chris Jericho does the weekly grind that we complain that those guys don't do. Yeah. And now he's doing it, and we're like, oh, get off the TV. I was guilty of it. I was guilty of it, but it was because I thought what he was doing sucked. What he's doing now is fantastic. So I'm like, go with it. Go with it.
Just keep going. I love the nasally tone to his voice. Hi, guys. Everything about him. The fact that he is condescending without trying to be condescending.
Let me tell you how to make corn, guys, because you're using the wrong pH back. It's fucking great. We have a heel in AEW that the fans genuinely hate. And that's what we want.
What are you supposed to get besides Christine Cage?
Father's Day special on Collision.
I can't wait.
I can't fucking wait for that. But we'll move on. Mox and Nato video package. They'll be wrestling at Forbidden Door. I know enough about Nato to know that this match is going to slap, and I mean slap hard. I'm excited for it. Real quick, what do you think? I say that.
This is going to be amazing.
You're a Nato guy, yeah?
My favorite Japanese wrestler.
There you go. Listen.
My favorite Japanese wrestler. He is the biggest star left in New Japan, in my honest opinion. And he's the guy that Moxley took the title off in the first place.
Okay.
So this is a rematch. I think Naito is going to win this rematch. I think he's going to be the big New Japan victory on the night because Moxley doesn't need to be carrying that belt for a long period of time. This match is going to absolutely slap. Yes. Their last match was they beat the seven shades out of each other because Naito is a very interesting character. He's very nonchalant and calm in an Orange Cassidy kind of way. But he's also very dark and violent when he needs to be. And he's got like a psychotic twist to him, and he does it very well. And he does it to the point that he doesn't need to speak English, and he translates perfectly to a Western audience because he's been wrestled a lot in America in Ring of Honor, and everybody's always loved him. So this is going to be an absolute banging match. I cannot wait to see it.
Now that the card is forming, we're going to have to figure out a time, and I want to add 2 people to it for a prediction. Since we're doing AEW stuff, I'm going to go full blown. Okay. I want to do a prediction show for Forbidden Door. So I actually am excited for it so far.
Yes, definitely.
I just hope they don't go too crazy and have 20 matches. Keep it slim. Keep it all that.
At max, including the pre-show, 12.
Yes.
No more than 9 on the main card.
Yes.
No more than 9 on the main card.
The card so far is phenomenal to me. I love the card so far. So I have no problem putting out a time, taking the time out of my schedule to do an extra show for so we'll do that. Bang Bang Gang promo on House of Black because they will be wrestling them on Collision this week. They basically said, we're incorporating the Freebird rule here because we are 3/4 of the Trios champions. Did you like the promo package? If you say no, I'm going to jump to this.
Why on earth would I boo Juice Robinson?
Thank you.
Boo Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson, as my brother phrased it the other day, unhinged young Randy Savage.
Yes, I'm seeing it more and more every day now. Someone said it to me 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, he looks like it, but then this promo on last night, I was like, oh, I see it. That's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
He's like an unhinged Randy. My phone is on silent. How is it making noise?
Someone's trying to get a hold of you big time. It's probably Juice Robinson about to slap you for even hesitating.
No, the D&D group. No, sadly, it's the D&D group. I'm not that for cool. No, this promo was great. The guns are getting better and better. Those 2 lads just get it. They get it. No Jay this week. Disappointing. But
we got what is it? Card J?
Cardblade.
Cardblade. There you go. There you go.
But no, really good promo. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Good advertising for Collision. That'll be a hell of a match as well. So yeah, all's good. Brody's going to eat some fools.
I'm torn. I'm absolutely torn here because everyone knows I love some Brody. Oh my God, I love some Brody King. But I think Bang Bang Gang is probably as far as the males side of AEW goes. I think Bang Bang Gang is my favorite part of AEW. So it's like
I love those 4 guys.
You've invested me into watching Collision for the first time since probably Punk's left. So
I'm hoping, Jim. The reason Jay's been off for a bit is Jay's going after Okada.
Oh, for sure.
They'd be stupid not to do it. Those two have such good chemistry together. Like they'll have a phenomenal.
It's a great Forbidden Door match to make.
Yeah, it really is. Yes. Okada and Jay Wright for the Continental. Is it Continental title?
Yes.
The 14 belts that they have.
Combine the international and continental title, please.
You don't need both. But I suppose the Continental Classic will be for that belt every year anyway. So
yes. So I don't care too much about the match between Daniel Garcia and Nick Camarado. What I did find interesting, though, I said his name right, yes?
Yes, you did. Hang on. Did you not notice a certain thing about this match that made no sense?
Go ahead.
Who the hell was Nick Camarado's manager?
I don't know.
The guy in the Stetson. Because he was just there. He wasn't there 1 minute. And then he was just kind of there, screaming. And at first I thought, as a fan jumped the guardrail, why is there a man in the Stetson stood in the corner? And my brother went, I think it's his manager. And I was like,
it kind of came across. When I first saw him, I thought he was a Von Erich, to be honest with you. He looked like one of those Von Erich kids. That's what he looked like. But I didn't really care because the match wasn't that. What I found interesting was they showed Will Ospreay watching.
Yes.
But then they showed Maxwell Jacob Friedman watching.
Okay.
And I'm intrigued by that one because Daniel Garcia and Maxwell Jacob Friedman have great chemistry.
Yes, they do.
And I want to see more of that.
Yes.
But Will's incorporating that as well. So I'm intrigued here. I'm very intrigued by this one. So I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add to that.
I would like to say that Will watching him's obvious because Danny said he wants to.
Yes. That's why I was like, that's not that.
I'd like to also shout out quickly that they took away Nick Camarado's power by making him shave his beard off. He's less of a man because he was forced to shave his beard. Nick, I'm sorry. Condolences to your beard. But in the meantime, having MJF watching, at first I was like, why are they doing that? And then I was like, hang on. They work well together.
Yes.
They work really well together. And I can imagine doing something with him because the idea, they're very similar.
Yeah.
In so many ways, in their position as a wrestler, not in what they mean to the company or anything like that, but in the position to the wrestler. Matt just it's fine, Connie.
Yeah, of course. I had the wrong time up, so I started early, and that's all my fault. Again, this is all. I'm figuring it out. I've been out the game, and it's a new day, new night, all this. So we're everywhere, but we're gonna get it figured out. No worries. You can just go back and watch the replay. That's fine with me. I'm not gonna be mad about it. But yeah, the Daniel Garcia MJF thing was interesting. I'm curious how that's going to work, and if Will Ospreay is going to be playing into that as well in some kind of 3-way, because that would be interesting.
That'd be a good match too.
It's a good way to take the belt off Will by protecting him as well.
Yeah, it is. Put it on Max.
So where you at? I'm here because I don't like Nick Camarado getting destroyed like that, especially by Daniel Garcia. As good as Daniel Garcia is,
why I liked it being done by Daniel Garcia.
I didn't
because Danny doesn't get the chance to kick the shit out of people enough. He's always shown on the back foot like he barely wins matches. He needs to get some convincing wins.
But
I do like Nick Camarado.
Bigger guys helps him, and that's kind of what kickstarted it all. Is when he lost every match in the Continental Classic, but then he beat Brody King and he fought for his life over the bigger guy. And I feel like that's kind of fighting from underneath is going to work wonders for him. And they don't have a lot of big guys to do that with, so I don't think it needed to be dragged out.
With Lance Archer, take my money.
I just don't want Nick Comoroto getting jobbed out like that because he's a monster of a guy.
Yeah, he's huge, dude.
So from there, Will Ospreay interview. Did anything happen in this interview that warranted our attention?
This was just Will basically saying he's got his mind on other things. Yes. He said, I'm focused on the world title match at Forbidden Door, but I've also got to focus on this international title match. I think it was more tying into what Swerve said to him at the end of the night about balancing both worlds.
And he also had the contract that Swerve delivered to him last week. Continuity. So I did appreciate that, but it just kind of seemed like a way to get Will on TV again.
Yeah, pretty much.
For that, I can't give you a thumbs up. I'm going to do.
I'm not going to give it a thumbs down, but I will.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it a thumbs down because it wasn't terrible. It didn't need to happen. I feel like, especially if he's wrestling
in about 2 minutes.
Put it earlier in the show, and I'm not as like.
It makes more sense, but doing it right before he goes out for the match anyway was a bit.
Okay. After that, we had a Packer Puck promo. I'm going to refer to him that forever.
I
Thank you, Jay White.
I love Jay White.
And he had the second best line of the night when he goes, "I'm supposed to be a bastard, but I feel like a bitch. I feel like a bitch." Yeah, because you've been treated like one. Packer Puck. And then he announced he will be part of the Owen Hart Cup. Thank you. They're stacking the cup just like they did in the King of the Ring tournament. Thank you. That's how these things should be treated.
These tournaments should be stacked. When you have the talent that's available in both rosters now, in either company, there's no excuse to not stack these tournaments.
Yes, it makes them more prestigious. Oh, all the top guys are going for it. Cool. So what are you giving this? Do you have anything you want to say? Because it wasn't really much, but it was quick, and it gave us something to look forward to. We're both giving it thumbs up. Good deal. And now we can get to the main event. Swerve was at ringside for it. With his belt and his crazy cool glasses. And it was Will Ospreay versus Rey Fenix. I'm going to let you go first on this one for the international title.
Okay, now, I watched this without any commercials. So,
that lucky bastard.
No. See, the problem with AEW matches is when they go to picture-in-picture, nothing happens. The match goes into kind of a pause mode. It's a stalemate where whoever was on top before the adverts stays on top until they come back from break, and then the wrestler comes back. It's formulaic as fuck, and they do it every single week because I watch it without commercials every single week.
I don't even notice that.
In the middle of the first advert break was Rey Fenix punching Will Ospreay twice in the corner, then Rey Fenix walking around the ring twice, then Rey Fenix punching Will Ospreay again, and then Rey Fenix walking around the ring another time before he put him in a kind of a stump puller, but on the head and neck. Eddie Kingston uses it. I can't remember the name of the submission. And then he let go of that, and then he walked around the ring again. And then they came back from break, and Will started his comeback. Rey Fenix is not a good right. I had this conversation with one of my friends the other day. There are two types of wrestler. There are people who are wrestlers, and there are people who are workers. The best example is The Rock. The Rock and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a phenomenal wrestler.
Rock is a worker.
Rock is a phenomenal worker.
Yes.
Rey Fenix is neither of these things.
He's a luchador. Come on, man.
It doesn't matter. He works in an American company. Learn.
No.
He is a spot monkey.
No.
Yes, he is a spot monkey. And he is in the ring with someone who is a far superior wrestler and worker. That's why Will's good. Will's a great worker and he's a great wrestler. Plus, he used to be a spot monkey. That's how he got over. Then he learned to wrestle. Phoenix needs to do the same thing. This match, not knocking it, this match, with the exception of the first advert break, was great. During that first advert break, I went to sleep. I was on my phone. It was just terrible. Right? And it's just for a Will Ospreay match for me, that is a massive surprise. But the right person won, so happy days. However, I said this last week. I don't think Phoenix is a good opponent for Will. I get what Tony's trying to do. He's trying to get the most aerial assassin out of the aerial assassin that he possibly can. But Will spend 90% of this match grounded anyway, because that's what he does now. He's not a flippy boy. He does the odd springboard. Like, even his big dive to the outside is just a slingshot plotcher.
Yeah,
it's not a big flip anymore because he's not stupid. He doesn't want to break his neck. Also, I think I've worked out how the Swerve Will match is going to end.
Let's save that for Forbidden Door prediction show.
Okay.
We're past the hour. I want to finish or wrap it up and everything. I got a few things I want to
point out. That's all I've got to say about this match. I enjoyed the match for what it was. Great showcase for Will.
It's a good TV match. So that's what you're saying. It's a good TV match.
Good TV match.
Yes. Okay. So the one thing, I don't know if you saw this. I read an article about Kevin Nash. He was saying that he was giving advice to Will Ospreay.
Okay.
And he said, Will punches too fast. Everything's 100 miles an hour with Will. He needs to slow down certain things. He goes, and one of the things he needs to do is slow down his punches because they are not as meaningful or impactful. What I saw Will doing in this match was slowing down his punches.
Yes.
And it made a difference. It's almost like you should be taking some of this advice from guys. I'm not saying Will doesn't, because clearly he just did. So I'm not knocking Will. There's other people who have not done it, and that's for another time, another day. But I did notice he did that. Thank you, because it worked, and it meant something. What I didn't like about the match is
Ray Phoenix.
No, I like Ray Phoenix, but I like Ray Phoenix as a luchador. I don't like Ray Phoenix wrestling people who are not luchadors, unfortunately.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing kind of with you here.
Square peg, round hole.
I don't like the flip spot where Will lands on his feet. It's cool when it, like the first time I saw it, I was like, what? That's cool. And then it happened the first time in AEW, and I'm like, of course, you got to utilize it. It's cool. But I feel like I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. And again, it dilutes it. It doesn't make it as cool.
I was saying, Will isn't the flippy boy he used to be. That's one of the few aerial spots that he still does.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be a thing that you do a lot of.
I'm sorry. One thing that was phenomenally well done in this match was at one point he went for a standing Spanish fly and they botched it. Yeah, so Will turned it into an Emerald Driver, which was great. Phenomenal. That brilliant bit of work.
Yes. So what I did like, kind of, because Ray Phoenix did the Hurricane Rana spot and he landed on it, and Will landed on his feet, and then Will did I think it was a double arm DDT, if I remember correctly, around Ray Phoenix. But then Ray Phoenix just did the head spring instantly on his feet in retaliation. And it was like, that's cool. But then I was like, oh, wait, no, he just got double arm DDT. That doesn't make any sense. But I'm not nitpicking because, again, when I saw, I was like, that's cool. And that's all that matters. My reaction was, I liked it. So I'm trying not to think too much into these things anymore because that's how you appreciate and enjoy things a little bit.
Agreed.
But again, the match just wasn't all there for me. Square peg, round hole. Ray Phoenix is great with other luchadors, other high fly. Give me Dante Martin, Ray Phoenix all day. I'm cool.
Yeah, you put him in the ring with a wrestler and he's fucked.
It's just not as fun. I did like Ray Phoenix versus Moxley, but Moxley can kind of wrestle with anybody. It doesn't even matter at this point. And Will win. Obviously, Will was going to win. But then afterwards, Swerve comes in. They have their little moment. You can't handle both things here. He goes to walk away. Will takes the belt. Says, if you looked at the graphic, you know what I'm talking about. It's on the graphic. That's how I promoted the show this week. And then Swerve took it back and says, you lucky, you my friend, because if you were anybody else, I would end you
in the grave.
Would put you in the grave. Thank you very much. So that made up. We're grading the whole thing. We're not grading match and segment. We're grading the
whole thing.
Yes. So that right there is what saved it and went from this to this.
Yep.
And what I really liked about it is that Swerve started the show and Swerve ended the show.
Bookends,
baby. World champion, baby.
That's exactly what it should be done.
Yes.
That's the way it should always be done. Your golden goose is the one you promote the most, and your golden goose is whoever has the World Heavyweight Championship. It's a phenomenal piece of work. I love Swerve's promo. I love all of Swerve's promos. The only qualm I have with the Will match is it's too soon, in my opinion. They should have done this. Should be the main event at Wembley. That's just my feeling. This should be the main event at Wembley.
It's the biggest match they can have, like what I was saying before.
Yeah. It's literally the biggest match they can have, and when they've got the biggest show they have of the year in England, Will's home country, they should have had the main event at Wembley as Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. They should just put Will in the Owen and have him win that, and not have beat Roddy, and had Roddy to cheat to beat Will Ospreay. It would have been fine. And then have Will win the Owen card. Will goes on to Wembley. Will versus Swerve. Problem solved. Will wins the world title. Swerve's had a good 7-month run. Everybody's happy.
I wouldn't have had Will wrestle Roddy for the title. That's just what I would have done.
That would have been the easy way of doing it.
But I'm not fantasy booking here. I'm just talking about my enjoyment, so I won't get into it. I've done the tally marks.
Okay.
So for this, we have 6. For this, we have 9. And for the thumbs up, we have 29, which means this show was a boom. Boom. What I will say is a lot happened. A lot of stuff happened in the show.
They put a lot in that 2 hours.
So if you're not the person who really zones in and pays attention to the show, I can get why it was kind of like, what the heck's going on here? But if you sit down and you're watching it because you're trying to enjoy it, there was a lot here to enjoy.
There was a lot. It was fun.
Based on our grades, the show really kind of picked up at the Mercedes versus Zeuxis match.
Yeah.
Because that's where everything was thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. It was before that, it was this. So it was everywhere. Mercedes and Zeuxis got the party started. I'll say it that way. So thanks, Mercedes, I guess.
Less is more. Stop doing that fucking dance. You look like
I want Stokely to come out doing it next week, so you'd be like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing of all time."
No, it wouldn't be. He'd look like a stupid prick. Mercedes looks like a stupid prick. It's dumb.
That's the end of the show. Feel free to let everyone know what they need to know and where they gotta find you at.
Ladies and gents, my name is Nick the Geek. You can find me primarily on the Wrestling Legion YouTube channels with my boy Andy and my boy Sai. We do podcasts every week. I do watch-alongs called Take Over the Table, where we go through old NXT Black and Gold eras. At the moment, we are anyway. That's back next Sunday. Not this Sunday, Sunday after. I do a fancy booking show called Wrestling with Your Thoughts, which this gentleman happens to be my champion of. Still looking for contenders. Anybody at me on Twitter at wrestling WYC Nick. If you want to go and shot at the champ, set you up for a contendership match in wrestling fancy booking. I'm always willing to give anyone a shot. Other than that, always remember we are but two geeks obsessed with a good show, and our opinion means nothing without yours in the comments below.
Yes, take over the table. There that is. There's his @ where you can find him. And then there's Wrestle Legion in case you missed it. And now, again, I don't really have much to plug. We might be doing a pod, as in Positively Awesome. I know I've said this probably multiple times at this point.
Yeah.
The scheduling has been a son of a bee, and I think we might have finally got it to work out. I will know for sure tomorrow. Unfortunately, you're not going to know unless you're subscribed to this channel and you got the notifications on, because I ain't on that Twitter machine no more. It's stupid. I'm done with it. Nada. I'm here to have fun with this stuff, and that's why we're here on the channel talking about wrestling, because it's great. Also, go check out the Slam Sessions. It's awesome. If you like stuff like
of wrestling YouTube.
If you like stuff like this, my Chelsea Green one's too far away. I can't reach it. I wish it was right here so I could show that one off as well. But if you like stuff like that, Slam Sessions has you covered. My man Albert is awesome with it, so go check that out. And you know what? Go ahead and check out these guys as well, because they're working with Nick. They've had me on the show a few times, and they do a lot of content. Go check out Raw Ball. Go check out Raw Ball, and then also, even though they're on a hiatus, you can check them out on Twitter and all the people involved with it. They're awesome. I love them all. You got the Crew Day as well. Go check out those guys as well. I got a bunch of people here. These are the ones that I support. So if you like my stuff, you like my fun atmosphere, my fun, whatever we're going to call aura. That's another word the kids are using these days. If you like my fun aura, these are the people that I'm co-signing for, and you need to go check out. So with that said, thank you for watching. Get the notifications on so you won't miss the podcast, Positively Awesome Wrestling, which we're going to be talking about my brainchild, my baby, Dom and Liv love story. That's right. It's my brainchild. And we're going to be talking about it, dissecting.
To be fair, you called this like
July 2023.
Yeah.
A week after Rhea Ripley took Liv out, I called that shit.
Yep.
It's
on YouTube. It's on YouTube, so there is evidence.
If you don't believe me, go check it out. It's on my channel. It's one of the first videos, not live, but regular videos. And it's just Dom. It's 6 minutes and 26 seconds long, so it's not even a bunch of time that you're going to waste watching it. You'll see my genius, because that's what I do. I'm a fucking genius. My brainchild. And we're going to be talking about it Sunday. So with that, fantastic show. Thank you very much. And don't forget, everybody, just enjoy wrestling. Goodbye. And, oh, wait. Toodles.